Hey guys, it's Carolyn, and this is Vlogmas. Technically it's day 7, but this is actually my Vlogmas day 6 video because I accidentally skipped Saturday, so then my Saturday Vlogmas 5 video went up on Sunday, so today is Monday and I'm doing 6, and I'm also doing Vlogmas day 7 after this, and I'll put up both of them today as like a catch-up sort of thing. And this is going to be a continuation of my favorite Christmas TV film specials, I guess. And this particular video is going to be me talking about my favorite children's Christmas episodes or films. And there are some that are actually not on this list, they're actually on the adult list, but the thing is, this is really kind of my younger childhood favorites, kind of like, I don't know, kindergarten through to like 12-year-olds, I suppose. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? The first one is Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. There are 2 versions of this, but the one that I love is the 2000s one. The other one is the Rankin Bass one from the 80s, which is still really good, but to me, I just really loved the 2000s one because that was the one that I saw first and that I saw the most often. And I didn't actually see the Rankin Bass one till later on, so because of that, I just love it. And actually, just last year, I found out that Robbie Benson voices the voice of Kris Kringle when he's an adult, which I thought was really cool because he plays the Beast in Beauty and the Beast and Beauty and the Beast and the Enchanted Christmas and like any Disney TV specials that the Beast was featured in. So I just have always really liked his voice, and so when I found out that he played Chris in this, I was like, oh, well, no wonder I like it. But anyway, this TV special is based off of the book by L. Frank Baum, who is most famous for writing his Wizard of Oz books. So this kind of went under the radar or got overshadowed by Wizard of Oz. I didn't even know that the original story was by L. Frank Baum until like 2 years ago, I think. But anyway, it's basically his take on Santa Claus, and it starts off with Santa Claus as a baby being, somehow he like ends up orphaned in the woods, and a whole bunch of woodland animals and creatures, elves, fairies, all decide to adopt him and kind of go with the whole it takes a village to raise a child philosophy, and they raise him, and as he grows, they teach him like the importance of kindness and giving, and you know, they teach him how to be a good person. And I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen this, so I don't know if they teach him how to do this or if he kind of teaches himself as he gets older, but he ends up really loving carving toys out of wood. And then that leads to him delivering toys to children in his human adult life. And I think that that's an influence of his elf family, who I think are called the Kringles, which is why he's called Kris Kringle. And then so he does this until he becomes older, and then when he's older, the kind of great magical being of the forest says, you know, he brings so much joy to children and he knows the importance of giving, and he really has kind of an important thing that he's doing, so he decides that that is important enough to make him immortal, and that's how he goes from being Kris Kringle to being Santa Claus, and how he's able to deliver presents all around the world with the help of magic. And it is a really cute, wonderful movie. I love it. Next up is what was I going to say? Beauty and the Beast and the Enchanted Christmas, which is basically it takes place kind of in the midst of Beauty and the Beast. It has to do with Belle's first Christmas being at the castle while the Beast is still a beast. And this was a straight-to-video film from 97, and it has all the original cast members and some new characters. Forte, the organ, who is evil. Fife, the piccolo, who is good, but he's very easily influenced, and unfortunately Forte influences him a little bit in the film. And then also Bernadette Peters plays a angel ornament named Angelique, who used to be the castle decorator, and Forte the organ used to be the royal musician, and Fife was his assistant. And yeah, so it has some great new characters and really beautiful songs. Paige O'Hara and Bernadette Peters do a few duets together in it, and it's just great. And it's sort of really cheesy, like it's much cheesier than Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast, I am fine admitting that it's my favorite film of all time. This, on the other hand, I kind of watch when no one's around because I do think it's slightly cheesy, but I still really love it. So yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I recommend it. Next up, we have a couple Rankin Bass specials. I know I said that I wasn't really partial to their version of Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, which is true, but I do love their version of Jack Frost, which Jack Frost is the magical being who creates snow and frost and winter, and it's wonderful. And anyway, in this story, Jack really loves human beings, and one year, I don't remember who does this. I don't know if it's Mother Nature or what, but someone says to him, okay, well, I will give you the opportunity to go down and see what being a human is like. And if you like it, then you have, I think he was given a year to find a house, find a job, and find a wife. And if he got all those things, then he would be allowed to remain a human. And of course there are some evil forces that don't want him to be happy and remain a human, so things happen. But yeah, it's very cute and wonderful, and I love it, and I would recommend it. And the other Rankin Bass one that I love is Nestor the Long-Eared Christmas Donkey, which sounds really cheesy, and it kind of is, but it's basically like the donkey version of Rudolph a little bit. Basically, this donkey, Nestor, is born with super long ears, and he's teased the same way Rudolph was, and people don't really appreciate him. Well, the other animals don't really appreciate him, except his mother. His mother is very protective of him. And it turns out that the reason he has such long ears is because he was destined to actually be the donkey who carries a very pregnant Virgin Mary to Bethlehem, and there's this big storm, and he uses his ears to hear his mother's voice, like, guiding him to Bethlehem. It's very cheesy and very over the top, but it's so cute and wonderful, and honestly, this special makes me cry every time I watch it. It's just fantastic. It's great. Next, I want to talk about Charlie Brown Christmas, because that is just, it's wonderful. It's a special that's very near and dear to the hearts of my whole family. It's kind of our family tradition that we watch it. We have other viewing family traditions on Christmas, but that's our kind of childish one, is Charlie Brown. And my mom introduced it to us when we were quite little, and we have Charlie Brown figurines, we have Charlie Brown ornaments, we have, my brother and I gave my mom a Charlie Brown Christmas book that was one of those Hallmark recordable books where you could record your voice, and we took turns reading it and gave it to her one year, and we have like a coffee table book that says how the whole special was made. We're very big fans of Charlie Brown Christmas. So really, I don't have anything to add to that, except just if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. Next up is Annabelle's Wish, which I love. This was one that I originally saw when I was quite little, and I just completely love it. It tells the story of the myth that animals can talk on Christmas Eve, that they're given that ability every Christmas Eve to talk. And basically it's set on this farm, and this calf Annabelle is born, and she's born to, or the farmer that she's born to is kind of an older man, and his grandson is I think deaf and mute, but he's definitely mute, and he was orphaned. I think his parents, I don't know if his inability to talk came from when his parents died. Like, I don't know if he was in an accident with them or something, but it's very sad, and he's a very sweet little boy. And Annabelle, the calf, asks Santa, Santa's the one who gives them all the ability to talk on Christmas Eve. She asks him if she can sacrifice her gift of talking every Christmas Eve for her whole life and give that to Billy and let him talk forever, like give him a voice. And Santa Claus says yes, and it is the sweetest thing ever. Like, it's one of those ones where it just makes me cry all the time. I just love it. But I actually couldn't find it for several years, and it wasn't really on TV, and they didn't have a DVD of it. But then I found the VHS in Salvation Army, and I also found a used VHS player, so I got them just so I could watch it again, because it's wonderful, and I will definitely be watching that this Christmas. Next, I want to talk about the Nutcracker Prince, which is my favorite version of the Nutcracker, which is going to sound super cheesy, because it is a 80s animated version of it, but it's so great. And Megan Follows plays Clara, and Kiefer Sutherland plays the Nutcracker Prince, and it's just wonderful. I mean, if you guys know the traditional story of the Nutcracker, it's about this girl who is given a Nutcracker doll by her. In some stories it's her uncle, in some stories it's her godfather. I think in this film it's her godfather. And her godfather is magical, and he brings the Nutcracker to life on Christmas Eve. And then the Nutcracker is in danger from the Mouse King, and so then the godfather also makes Clara the same size as the Nutcracker so that she can help him, and then the Nutcracker ends up having to save her from the Mouse King, and it's wonderful. And they go to the land of Sugar Plum Fairies, or of the Sugar Plum Fairy, and I love it. It's great. And I've also seen the actual ballet of the Nutcracker a few years when I was little, and I really, really liked it. It's probably my favorite Christmas story. It's fantastic, and I love it. Okay, so next, oh gosh, I know that I'm gonna forget some here, probably, but there are several Christmas episodes of different things. One that I actually am excited because it's going to be on TV in a few days is the Even Stevens Hanukkah episode. Even Stevens was a kid show that was on Disney in the 90s that I loved. It was like late 90s, early 2000s, and there is an episode to do with Hanukkah because the Stevens are Jewish, and Louis is kind of the crazy child. He was played by Shia LaBeouf, and he somehow ends up breaking all of the Hanukkah presents, and he's only interested in the gift part, not like what the true meaning of Hanukkah, like what it all is. So he's just interested in the presents. And so then after they all break, his bubby, his grandmother, the ghost of his grandmother, I think his great-grandmother, comes to him in a dream and shows him, I don't know, like, it basically shows what it would be like if his parents had, like, a different version of him or something. Like, what if it's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life, but instead of showing what it would be like if he was never born, it shows what it would be like if he was a different person. And it's very strange, but it's just really cool, and I like it. And another Christmas episode, or, well, that was Hanukkah, but another holiday episode that I really enjoy is the Christmas episode of That's So Raven, which I really like that one. That's So Raven was another show that was on when I was younger, in the 90s, early 2000s, and in the Christmas episode of that, Raven, she's a psychic, and she foresees that her parents are giving her this gorgeous necklace for Christmas, and she decides to open it early and wear it to school. And it kind of gets broken, and so then she has to skip school to go to the mall to get a new necklace, and in the meantime, she kind of has ended up lying to her parents and skipping all of these fun Christmas things that she usually does every year in order to try to get this necklace back and get it back under the tree without her parents knowing. And it just makes her realize that she shouldn't have opened it to begin with, because she really kind of missed out on all the parts of Christmas that she loves. So it's just a really good episode, and I quite like it. Okay, I'm trying to think of other Christmassy things. Christmas children's specials that I love. Those are all that I can think of right now, and I know that this is a 16-minute video, and I apologize. But there will probably be a few more that I've forgotten. But yeah, I'll look them up and probably add them into the next one or something. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this was a 17-minute long video. Let me know what some of your favorite childhood Christmas stories were. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.